My story for today is, welcome back to my story about growing up in the projects. Well, after we set the fire in the street, we had to calm down a little because the police were really watching us. So, one day we were all chilling at my house, and my mother, who everyone really likes, called us all into the kitchen to do a seance because the house we lived in was very spooky and we thought it was haunted. So, because a lot of the things would happen in there, things would fall off the wall and nobody was even around. You could hear things running up and down the basement stairs. So, she called us all into the kitchen and tells us to sit around the kitchen table as she lights a few candles and puts them in the middle of the table. We were all laughing and saying, "Yeah, right, whatever, Mom." But we do it. Then she says, "Join hands, everyone," and shuts the lights out and starts to tell us. Once I start asking questions, everyone has to be complete silence. So we all go along with her because she used to do all kinds of stuff with us. She started asking, "Is there anyone here that wants to talk to us tonight?" And pauses for like 5 minutes. We're all looking at each other thinking she has lost it. This time, she asked another question. "Is there anything that can show us that you are truly here?" And wait for another couple minutes, and then, out of nowhere, my mom's dog starts freaking barking like crazy and scared the shit out of everyone. You never seen a bunch of kids run out so fast out the front door and into the street. My mom was killing herself laughing at us. She had tears in her eyes, but it scared the hell out of all of us. My friends would not come back into my house for the longest time, always saying that house had some freaking shit going on in there. And to be honest, it really did have shit going on. One day, my parents went shopping, and my sister and I were home watching TV, when all of a sudden, the couch that was in the basement went screeching across the basement floor, making the loudest damn noise. We jumped up. We were like, "What the hell?" Because we knew there was no one in the basement. And I opened the door to listen to see if anyone was down there. I swear to God, I heard someone talking. So, we ran our asses out the door, and my sister runs out to a cop car that was out on the street. Like I said, the cops were always down there. And she tells them that there's someone in the basement, and there isn't supposed to be. So, she tells him the couch just moved across the basement floor, and we could hear talking down there. The cop must have thought that we were crazy, but he came and looked for us. Anyway, he comes in the house and asks, "Where's your parents?" We were like, "They went shopping." So, he comes in and goes down in the basement. We follow him down, and the couch was moved into the middle of the floor, but there was nobody down there that we could see anyways. So he says, "Well guys, there's nobody down here. You guys are just hearing things." And he leaves laughing at us. But we knew different. There was something down there moving shit around. So we got dressed and went outside till our parents got home. So a few years go by, and we are now starting to get into a little bit of trouble with stolen cars and dirt bikes in the area. And being teenagers, wanted to get a chance to ride the dirt bike or drive. So one night, someone brings a stolen car down in the projects, and stupid me, I wanted a chance to drive it, so I jump in and take it down to the end of the street and decide I was going to take it through a field and smash it through a huge sign. So I did it. Smashed the windshield, cut my forehead, and I ended up spinning it out in a ditch. Then I jumped out and ran, left it there. After that, a few weeks later, we were in the park, and someone from the neighborhood had a CR250. I have no idea where he got it from, but it was something new to the hood, so everybody wanted to drive it. So when we were done, with the bike, we put it in an empty shed where nobody lived, and we left it. Well, one of the neighbors on the next street saw what we did, and he called the police and reported us, and even came out and showed them where we had put the bike. So they came, got the bike, and were looking it over. We all played it off like we didn't know anything, and we're just coming to see what was going on. And this damn rat comes out and points at all of us and tells the cops that we were the ones that put it in the shed. So they came and grabbed us, and of course, we all deny it and say it wasn't us. He comes over and points me out and says, I seen him put the bike in there, but it wasn't me that actually put it in there. But if there was one thing you learn growing up in the projects, you don't rat on anyone. So, ended up getting arrested for the bike, but they didn't really have any proof that it was me except this rat neighbor saying it was me. So they had to let me go, but I had a court date. So when I got home, we all got together and went to the rat's house and just started all kinds of shit with him. We broke his windows, flattened his car tires, left him a note on his car windshield. This is what happens to rats. So this went on for a while, and he would call the cops on us non-stop, but they never caught us doing anything, so they couldn't really do anything except tell us to stay away from him. But of course, we didn't listen. Then my court date finally came, and guess what? The rat didn't show up, so they had to drop the charges. I think he got the point. So after that, we kind of left him alone. Kind of. He was still labeled as a rat. As time went on, we had a family move into the projects. We like to call the cops on the kids in the neighborhood for just about everything you can think of. Nobody liked these people right from the get-go. So one night, after they had called on us for making too much noise out on the road, we were playing basketball. So the cops came, went right to their house, then came out to us and told us we couldn't play basketball anymore because we were bugging them. So that pissed all of us off. That night, we all got together and went into the parking lot where their car was. It was one of them real small cars. We all got on one side of the car and started shaking it up and down until we were able to tip it over onto the hood of the car. Then we went out front and sat on the porch until they came out to leave and found their car tipped over. They freaked out and again called the cops and said we did it. This time the cops came over to us and was kind of laughing and asked us if we knew what happened, but of course we didn't. Then finally one cop says to the lady, "You ever think if you stop calling the police on them for everything, they would leave you alone?" They told us to stay away from them, and they left. The lady had called the tow company to get her car turned back over, but she learned a lesson and stopped calling the cops on us after that. If you want to hear more about my life growing up in the projects, tune in to the next video. Thank you for listening to my story.